And so let's say he did 30 minutes of HIIT cardio. What did he burn? 400 calories if he's lucky?
400 calories if I'm lucky, Greg. You haven't seen me jump rope, obviously, dude. I burn at least like 410. In today's video, we are doing a little reaction of a video that was made calling me out. Greg Doucette, who is a bodybuilder. I don't know if he's still a pro bodybuilder. Greg has a YouTube channel. He makes videos about other videos on the internet, and he called me out. So in this video, I'm going to be reacting to the video he made about me, and specifically, he has criticisms of the video that we did, which is the 10 things that matter most for weight loss. So that's what this video is. Check it out. Be sure to comment below. Let me know what you think. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy the video. Also, comment below if you'd like me to do more reaction videos like this. All right, dude, here we go. I was sent this by a friend. Greg Doucette says, "Jump rope dudes, you're wrong." So I haven't watched this video yet. I see Greg all over the internet. Greg's a smart guy. He makes videos like this so that I make a reaction video and call him out, which I'm doing, or not call him out, but mention his name. And it's actually really brilliant because he does this to tons of other people in fitness, and then they make response videos to his, like this one, and then he gets the views from that. So many of you might already know Greg, but I like Greg just because, I mean, I don't know what he's gonna say in this video. Greg. But I like Greg just because he's very, like, I like people who are very much themselves. And Greg has this kind of like just crazy high energy.
Watch the video!
And I just respect him for just being who he is. And I think some of his content is really interesting. And I also think at the bottom of all of his content, he's really trying to like help people on the internet. And that's not something that you always see. So Greg, without further ado, let's get into this, dude. Stronger and bigger. That's what makes you grow. Alcohol basically stops that entire process.
And so the rest of the video, he speaks nonsense about alcohol. Sorry, he got it totally wrong. He says alcohol stops you from burning fat. No, it does not. Not in the slightest.
So already, we've made the claim before that alcohol stops the muscle building, fat burning process. And Greg's like, no, it doesn't.
Coach Greg, and the only 10 things you need to worry about for weight loss. And so I'm going over the video by the jump rope dudes, of which he's going to explain what you need, and I'm going to analyze him. Does he know what he's talking about? Is he making sense? Or is he just another bad fitness influencer?
The stuff I'm about to talk about is not going to blow your mind. It's definitely not any kind of secret. It's a situation where if you can master these things, you're not going to need all this extra bullshit.
Well, the first thing I like is that he says, this is not going to be a secret. You should already know these things. The ways to lose weight, it's very, very simple. The reason people have such a difficult time knowing what to do is because there's so much misinformation or information that goes against each other on the internet. No one knows exactly what's true, what's false, and what they should actually be doing.
Yep, cool. So Greg, me and Greg are on the same page here. Jump rope HIIT style workouts 5 to 6 times per week is what we recommend here.
30 minutes, 5 to 6 times a week of HIIT jump workouts. Well, I gotta hear the rest of this. Maybe he means something else.
This also could be substituted for like the bodybuilding or weightlifting crowd. You could say like, you know, if you lift 3 times a week, the main form of exercise that I do is 5 to 6 super intense 30-minute jump rope workouts every single week.
All right, and we're not off to a good start. The first one essentially is saying you need to do HIIT cardio, high intensity interval training. You don't need to. And frankly,
I'm not saying that you need to, Greg, and I talk about this a lot on our channel. I'm saying that's what I do, and that's what I'd recommend if you choose to do the jump rope lifestyle with the bodyweight exercises. I talk a lot on this channel about how there's many ways to lose weight, and, you know, that's just my personal take on it.
The reason he suggests doing this is because he says it alters your metabolism, that somehow you're going to burn off so many more calories through EPOC, post-exercise oxygen consumption, that if you didn't do the HIIT cardio. It's not true. EPOC is only going to burn approximately 6 to 15% of the calories in total that you did during that workout. And so let's say he did 30 minutes of HIIT cardio. What did he burn? 400 calories if he's lucky? 6 to 15%.
400 calories if I'm lucky, Greg. You haven't seen me jump rope, obviously, dude. I burn at least like 410.
It's 24 to 60 calories. That's it. And so it's not magically altering your metabolism. Do you really care that much about 24 to 60 calories? I mean, if you had just gone gone for 5 more minutes, you probably would have burnt that many calories or more. Also, second, he's not doing HIIT cardio. If you do 30 minutes of skipping, it's not HIIT cardio. HIIT cardio is when you go extremely hard for perhaps 30 seconds, maybe a minute, and you follow that up with something easy. For example, when I'm racing on a bike up the mountain, I'm going all out so hard, can I keep up? And then on the downhill, it's easy. And so you go back and forth from going very hard to very easy. That is HIIT cardio.
Well, Greg, if you watched any of the videos on our channel, you would know that I'm not just talking about jumping rope for 30 minutes straight. I'm talking about doing specifically 30 seconds on of super intense skipping, and then 10 seconds off. Sometimes you go super hard 30 seconds on, and then you rest for 30 seconds. But it's not just steady state cardio for 30 minutes.
You go very hard. For example, you go for a 20-minute run hard as you can. It's not HIIT cardio. You did steady state hard cardio. It's a big difference. HIIT cardio involves times you're going very hard by times when you're resting. And so, for example, if he's doing 50 triple unders and then rested for 2 minutes and then did 50 triple unders again and did back and forth, then perhaps that would be HIIT cardio. But if you're just jumping rope for 30 minutes steady, that is not HIIT cardio. And so just because you're going hard, you can't count it as HIIT cardio. It's called hard.
Well, that's not what we're doing, but the point of Greg making these videos isn't to actually take a look at other people's channels. It's to make a video really quick so other people respond. So, well done, sir. If you're someone new to jumping rope and you're specifically looking to lose weight, we recommend using the cross rope. That's my favorite jump rope. It's been since the beginning of this channel. It's the best jump rope you're gonna find on the internet for fitness and weight loss. So the link is flashing up here on the screen. It's also linked in the comments below. And to get 15% off, just enter code DOTHETHING. Some form of body weight or resistance training. So here at Jump Rope Dudes, push-ups, pull-ups, squats, and lunges. If that's all you did for body weight stuff, that's totally fine.
And number 2, I like this one, makes a lot of sense. And he does body weight exercises, for example, calisthenics, but you could also go to the gym, you could lift weights. And so what he suggests is you're trying to build muscle. Muscle burns more fat than fat does. For every pound of muscle you gain, you're gonna burn approximately 8 calories. In comparison, fat only gonna add 2. Couple that with doing neat, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, moving your body around, you're going to burn off way more calories. And so if you have more muscle, you have a bigger metabolism, and that helps you to lose weight.
More steady state kind of cardio or activities where you're having fun and you're burning calories, and it's just like a nice add-on.
And so number 3, he considers this to be list cardio, but what he explained was a combination of neat, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. This is our calories you burn throughout the day without even counting it as exercise. Walking up a flight of stairs instead of taking the elevator or an escalator, that is a form of neat. It's not cardio, you're just going for a small walk, but it does burn off extra calories. He suggests you find an activity that you love and you keep doing it. Whether it's surfing, walking, climbing a tree, whatever you want to do, get out there and do it. And so this is excellent advice.
Next, eat. Thanks, bro. So for number 4, no restrictive diets. Carbs, fats, and protein are all necessary.
And so he's saying what he believes. He's not necessarily true. And for the most part, I do agree with him, but you don't need carbs. It's not an essential nutrient. Not that I'm saying you
I would highly disagree with that. I think you do need carbohydrates. I think you definitely do need carbohydrates.
should need carbs, but you don't actually need it. You can function without carbs. My personal suggestion is exactly as him. Eat a normal diet from all different food groups. Don't think you have to suddenly cut out any given food group. So I do believe it. But where he says don't listen to the science, you have to have fats, proteins, and carbs, it's not actually true. And so although my opinion is the same as his, I do recognize that some people function better without carbs.
I fast most of the morning. Now let me be very clear about this. I think fasting as an idea is extremely overrated. So when I say fasting, I'm not saying that you are not going to get results if you don't fast.
And so I really like this. He says he likes to fast, but he recognizes that you don't need to fast. And so if fasting for you is something that's going to work better, then by all means, go for it. For me, I hate it. I hate fasting. I don't like waking up in the morning and skipping breakfast, waiting until to 12 to eat or 5 to eat and so on. For him, he says if he starts eating right away, for example, at 8 o'clock, once he starts eating, he can't stop. For other people, if they don't eat, once they start eating, they can't stop. When I've fasted in the past, say I'm waiting until 4 o'clock to eat, I'm going to skip breakfast and lunch. That way I can eat a massive supper. I start this supper and I don't eat.
Dude, you just got to give it up for Greg's energy, man. This guy is like just like watches the video and then just goes into this like he's just like he's firing. Like, dude, you gotta respect a guy who can make content.
Till
like
bedtime.
This.
I end up eating more in the evening than I would had I had spread out my meals 3 to 5 times during the day.
The reason I like the idea of fasting is because I wake up and I drink a bunch of black coffee and I have all this energy to go get my work done.
Now, here's the thing. As Andrew Huberman has pointed out, you're not supposed to consume caffeine in the first 90 minutes to 2 hours of waking up. The cortisol levels are going to rise even without the caffeine, and when you consume caffeine too early, oftentimes you get that crash mid-afternoon. And so if possible, remember, I'm just making a suggestion, if you can hold off on drinking your coffee until a couple hours later. For me personally, I used to drink coffee all the time, had so many pre-workouts, was getting in over 1 gram of caffeine a day. I then went on a 30-day caffeine detox, and it was very hard at first. But once I got used to it, I felt a lot better. But once I reintroduced caffeine, I stopped drinking caffeinated coffee. I only drink decaf, and I saved my caffeine for pre-workouts. And so, for example, with my hardcore pre-workout that I take before bike riding or going to the gym, I only need 1 scoop. It says take 1 to 2 scoops. 1 scoop for me, it feels like a lot. I have a ton of energy.
I can see that. Get my exercise done. That whole time, I'm basically extremely productive. I'm doing my workouts. I'm not consuming any calories.
And so please try not to consume your caffeine too late at night because it can in fact interfere with your sleep. If you're not sleeping right, then there's more likely a chance you're going to overeat. Also, remember, caffeine releases dopamine and makes what you're doing feel better. And so if you save your caffeine for before you go to the gym, you're going to experience or enjoy that workout that much more. And so if you can wait and leverage the use of caffeine to help you throughout your
I don't get super in deep, like I don't follow a lot of like Huberman's advice and like what he's saying. I personally like to wake up and drink coffee, and I'm going to probably continue doing that. But what they did say about waiting a little bit and then trying it is something I'll consider it. I'll consider it.
Workouts, you're much more likely to go and train at the gym.
Track your calories for a little bit. Track them until you develop a good relationship with food.
And so this, I 100% agree with him. I think it's so important that you track the calories in the foods that you're eating. And it's not about tracking it for the rest of your life. It's about learning what is in the foods that you're eating. Once you understand that, you know the calories in the foods that you're eating, you're automatically going to make smarter and better choices for your own body. You recognize that cheesecake has 1,000 calories. Well, if you want the cheesecake, you're still going to have it. But if there's a piece of pie that has only 500 calories right next to it, you might think, I'm going to choose that piece of pie over the cheesecake because it only has half the calories. That is what a smart and intelligent consumer would do. It's kind of like you go to the store and you're trying on a dress for New Year's Eve. One's $1,000, the other's $500. You like them equally. You buy the one for $500. Why? Because you save yourself $500 and you're getting about the same enjoyment from either one. And so why would you waste your money? And you use the example of like tracking your bank account statements in detail, every cent that went into it every single month. That to me would be a waste of time. But at first, if you're living paycheck to paycheck and you don't know where your money's going, track it. Where are you wasting all your money? You might discover you spend way too much money on entertainment and not enough on food or housing, and so you can make the proper decisions that are best for you.
That's a really good point. So anyone who's like starting their weight loss journey, that was a great analogy of the bank account. So if you're just starting to lose weight, you do need to have a grasp of how many calories are coming in and out of your body before you're comfortable enough and have a good enough relationship with food so that you don't need to track every single calorie. Some food, man. Cook your food. I'm tired of this being a thing in fitness where people are like, I don't want to cook my food. I don't know how to cook.
The next one, I couldn't agree more. Learn
All right,
how.
Greg. I'll be honest, I thought Greg was just gonna like completely rip me apart in this video because I've seen some of his other content, but no, it's pretty good.
Cook. If you're eating out all the time, you have no idea how many calories you're consuming. But if you make your foods at home, and remember, he says if you can just make 5 to 10 meals, it's going to make a huge difference in your life. 5 to 10 meals of which you could get from my cookbook, low calorie, delicious, amazing recipes that are high in protein and fiber, and they're not schmuck servings. They're massive portions that keep you full. If you can get just 5 of these from this entire cookbook with over 200 recipes,
Good plug.
Imagine how much
Good
your
plug.
life is you.
Sleep 7 to 8 hours a night. I don't care how many kids you have. I don't care what your work schedule's like. I don't care what your commute is like. If you are not hitting your fitness goals and you're not getting at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night, I have a hard time like feeling bad.
Next,
I feel like he's gonna rip this one apart. Let's see what he says.
you need to sleep, he says 7 to 8 hours. Remember, that is different for everyone. Some people, they need more. Some people, they need less. And so depending on your own individual sleep needs, get the amount of sleep that you need. You might be thinking you don't have time. Well, start looking at how many hours you spend on the internet or on your phone or watching TV. Subtract some of those hours and add those to your sleep. If you're not sleeping, you're not recovering. And remember, the lack of sleep is going to affect you physically, mentally, socially, emotionally, spiritually, everything.
That is correct. He's just saying facts right there.
Sleep is the cornerstone, the basics. You must get enough sleep.
Drink 90 to 120 ounces of water. $10 says he rips this apart per day. If you want to be even easier on yourself, just say 100 ounces. Overall, people just don't drink enough water.
Next up, water. He suggests approximately 100 ounces of water, perhaps 2.5 to 3.5 liters of water every day. And remember, it doesn't have to be water. I also think that if you drink non-nutritive sweetened beverages, beverages that don't have a lot of calories, perhaps a Diet Pop or Crystal Light or Diet Kool-Aid, something that doesn't have a lot of calories, that is going to add more fluids into your diet. And when you're drinking water, it expands your stomach. That sends a chemical signal.
I don't know if I caught that fully. I think he was, dude, don't do what he just said. Drinking diet soda and Crystal Light. Just drink water.
To the brain to make you less hungry. Your stomach is getting stretched. It feels like you're consuming food, and so it makes you less hungry. And so if you're struggling with your appetite, drink more water. It's going to help you to be satiated. You're not going to want to eat as much. Easier to stick to your diet and help you to lose weight.
Alcohol is fine. And all right, here we go. Here's the bit on alcohol. Let's see what he's got to say. Moderation.
And so technically, he's telling you what you want to hear, not what you need to hear. He's saying alcohol is fine in moderation, but it's greatly going to affect your ability to recover, to sleep, to build muscle, to lose fat, everything. Alcohol is a poison. It's not good for your body. I'm not telling you not to do anything. We all have our vices, but the less alcohol you can drink, the better. They used to say that 1 or 2 drinks a day, not a problem. Now they've gone to 1 drink a week. And so alcohol is carcinogenic. The World Health Organization has alcohol at the #1 list of things to be careful of in terms of things that we have in our diets. And so if you're thinking, I can't drink Diet Pop, there might be aspartame in that. Well, in comparison, alcohol, far, far worse. We know it to be bad. Aspartame, artificial sweeteners, maybe is bad, but certainly alcohol is. And so please be careful.
But it is going to greatly, I cannot stress this enough, it is going to greatly affect your ability to lose fat.
And so the rest of the video, he speaks nonsense about alcohol. Sorry, he got it totally wrong. He says alcohol stops you from burning fat. No, it does not in the slightest. If I never ate for a week and all I did was drink 10 beers a day, I would get shredded. I would be in a calorie deficit despite the fact that every 2 hours I'm drinking a beer. I am losing weight. It's calories in, calories out. And so just because you're drinking alcohol, you can't break the laws of thermodynamics. It doesn't work like that. Perhaps in Bart K's universe, but not here on Earth. And so here's the problem. When you're drinking a lot of alcohol, especially if it's on a weekend, you're consuming a lot of calories from not only the alcohol, but also on what you're mixing with and the foods that you're eating in conjunction with drinking the alcohol. And so please be careful. Alcohol are empty calories. There's no good benefit to drinking alcohol. It's not like you're eating food that has vitamins, minerals. Alcohol are empty calories.
I don't know if he misheard me at the beginning. We definitely hold the same, we're in agreement about alcohol. It basically has no point at all to consume. So we have a little bit of a differing opinion on what it does inside your body, but we have the same exact opinion when it comes to alcohol is not good for you. You should try to limit it. Of course, like he talks about, we have our vices, but there's no benefit to it. So
you should do without them. It doesn't stop you from burning fat. It doesn't stop you from getting lean. But they are...
I think it does stop you from burning fat and getting lean. I think it absolutely 100% stops you from burning fat and getting lean. Not just because physiologically what it's doing, but also because your inhibitions are lowered, and so your tendency to eat more food and indulge in things that you normally wouldn't is higher. So I actually do think that, yeah, drinking alcohol makes weight loss and building muscle much harder.
Or wasted calories, and so please limit your intake of alcohol.
If you're eating and drinking, instead of burning the calories from the food that here we go, your body's gonna go, hey, let this food be stored as fat because we got a bigger problem over here. We gotta burn out all this alcohol.
And so no, if you're in a calorie surplus and there's alcohol involved, you're gonna store fat. If you're in a calorie deficit and there's alcohol, you're gonna lose fat. Alcohol doesn't break any of the laws. It doesn't change the way your body burns fat. It doesn't make it impossible to burn fat. It's just alcohol adds to the calories. If you're in a surplus, you get fat. that. If you're in a deficit, you lose weight.
The way that you build muscle is you do resistance training. I still disagree with this, but that is pretty cool that other people think that, because that definitely takes the pressure off people when drinking, because there is a lot of just information on the internet that's basically like, if you drink alcohol, it's going to halt your fat loss, and that's not good. So it is interesting to hear his perspective on this. Training which tears your muscle fibers, and then you rest, you sit on your butt, you sleep, you recover, and those muscle fibers grow back stronger and bigger. That's what makes you grow. Alcohol basically stops that entire process.
And no, alcohol doesn't stop the entire process of building muscle. If that were the case, that everyone who's out drinking all the time wouldn't have any big biceps. But in reality, if you're taking enough protein and you're drinking alcohol every single day, you can still build an impressive physique. Not perhaps as good as if you didn't drink the alcohol, but it doesn't suddenly stop your body from repairing its tissues. Now, if you're drinking alcohol, not going to bed, and you're partying every single night, not getting any sleep, then of course it's going to prevent you from building muscle. But if you're just getting drunk, for example, you're drinking alcohol and you're still continuing to train, you're still going to bed, you are still going to build muscle.
You could walk and do push-ups all the time and eat really well and drink water and sleep for 7 to 8 hours. And honestly, after a year or two of doing that, you're probably gonna look super jacked and you're gonna feel amazing.
And so remember, the reason this guy is so fit is because he's doing all the things that he's listed. He's very active. He's skipping rope for 30 minutes 5 times a week. He's also walking and surfing and taking the stairs instead of elevators. He also has an amazing diet. He's only eating from 2 or 3 o'clock on till bedtime. When he craves junk at night, he's oftentimes drinking water instead. And so he's clearly watching his diet and is very active. And so that's why he's lean. He's putting effort into it. He's being proactive. He's demonstrating that if you put in the work, you too can lose weight.
100%, baby. Yeah. Greg and I actually see eye to eye on a lot more than I thought. I thought he was going to really rip me apart for that. And another thing too, I'm open to being wrong, like from a scientific standpoint, because I don't claim to be, you know, an exercise scientist or a doctor or anything like that. But I think the overall message of what he and I are both trying to get across, and what I was trying to get across with alcohol, is like, it's better to just tell yourself that no, it has no place in my diet if I'm trying to lose weight or build muscle. Maybe he is correct that like it's not going to totally sabotage your goals, but I don't like to say things like that to our community, like, no, it's cool, you can have some, and like, because that just allows people then to take what I'm saying and kind of run with it and be like, well, Dan said it wouldn't really, like, I'd rather tell you guys like, yo, if you drink this, it's going to kill you, versus like, no, it's cool, you can do that and still be healthy. Because the truth is, alcohol's poison. And do I drink? Yes, I do. Sometimes I have a little bit more than I should, to be totally honest. But I'm, like he's saying, I'm still able to get to my goals because of all these other things that I do. But even though I drink, I am never going to be someone that sits here and tries to justify it as beneficial in any kind of way, because alcohol, like Greg said, is a toxin, and I don't think it has a place, a good place, or any kind of benefit to the human body.
And so, great video overall. I only saw 2 times where I disagreed, and so that's not bad. Out of 10 things, only 2 that we disagree on. Please go and give Jump Rope Dudes a follow. They are great fitness motivators, and so highly recommend you go and follow them. Subscribe, click that bell button.
Dude, Greg, thank you, man. I really appreciate the breakdown there. I feel like Greg and I see eye to eye on a lot of different fitness topics, and I feel that, and the reason that I've watched him before and like him is because he's common sense, and I think that's like what a lot of YouTube and fitness nowadays on the internet is missing, or just over sensationalizing the use of steroids and things like Ozempic and other things that just aren't good for you, when in reality you can get to the goals that you want physically and mentally by just doing a lot of the basics right, which I mentioned in that video. So Greg, my dude, we'll have to do a workout sometime so I can show you what I'm actually doing when I jump rope, but just don't make me do a weightlifting workout, because I don't want to. Anyway, go give Greg a follow, check out his YouTube channel. He's a good dude, and he's one of the few people on the internet that I feel like is actually cares, actually gives a shit, and wants to see people better their lives. So go give Greg a follow, and we'll see you guys on the next video.